Definitely not meant to be in this part of the woods. Hey guys, welcome back to River Boy, and today we are... Now, this is part 2. Part 1 ended quite abruptly. My iPhone ran out of charge, which absolutely sucks. But we're back, and today we are going to find the perfect hammock spot. So in the last video, we kind of stayed just at the top path of the woods. So I'm going to venture down a little bit. The reason I did that in the last video was because the trees are generally better for hammocking. But, you know, we'll never know if we don't check it out. Okay, so it actually looks like the bottom part of the woods that I wanted to go to is closed off for some reason. So it seems like this tree has been placed purposely across this path. I mean, it might have fallen down. Regardless, we're gonna go that way anyway. So let's climb over whatever this is. This stuff has definitely been placed here. So already, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but the trees are looking way more sort of twiggy than the previous place we were. It's almost thick vegetation instead of cleared out. But we'll go into it and see what we can find. Luckily, unlike the last 2 videos I did, I have my boots on. And this is good because it's December and it's raining a lot in the UK. Look what I have to walk through. I'm sort of just sticking to this path at the moment because the vegetation's so thick either side of me. I don't think anyone's been here for a while. Like I said, I think this part of the woods is shut, so I don't think I'm going to see anyone. But I'll just keep walking down this path. Maybe either side I might spot something. So the main thing I'm looking for the next spot is somewhere that's quite high up off the ground, because in the last video, they've all been fairly close to the ground. I usually quite enjoy being up in the trees, so I'm looking for that at the moment. Although nothing's jumping out at me. I have seen a few spots, but they've all been similar to the last ones. I've been looking for about 10 minutes now and I've had no luck. So I'm going to change my tactic, get off this path and just head straight into the woods and see what I can find. I've been off the main path for about 5 minutes now. I've seen something that's promising, and it's actually something I haven't done before. It's a different way you can put up a hammock. As you can see, there's this fallen tree here and it's sort of laying across. What you can do, I don't know what the word is, but the thing that's popping to my head is monkey grip for some reason. You basically tie one end of the rope to there, tie one end of the rope to there, and let it sag down along one tree. I've got to clear some of these twigs first because it's manic. One thing I am concerned about is this tree is very dead. If I'm lying under it and it breaks, then it's going to fall on top of me. I'm going to test that as weight and see if it's plausible, because I do not want to be crushed by a tree today. So to show you what I'm trying to explain, I'm just going to set up my hammock with the ropes without me getting in it to begin with. I mean, the tree this side looks pretty strong, but down there, it's not hanging on anything. So I think getting in this might make it fall over. I'm just going to clear some of these sticks out of the way. Okay, let's set up this hammock. I don't like this being here at all, but it's too thick to break. No, it's not. Before I get in this, I really don't want to get in it and that whole tree fall on top of me, because that will not be good for obvious reasons. What I think I'm going to do is climb on top and stand on it. And I think if it can take my weight standing on it, then it could probably take my weight hanging on it. Does that make sense? I guess there's only one way to find out. So this is the tree here, and it kind of falls down to this end. So my plan is to just walk up this and stand on the top and see what happens. So I'm trying to do this with no hands whilst also holding a camera. Luckily my balance is immaculate. So this is what I'm worried about here, is where it's broken. That looks like it can just easily snap, and you can see where my hammock's hanging from. If that snaps, it's bad news. So I'm about to stand on top of where the hammock's going to be now. So I am standing directly above the hammock. It really hasn't moved that much. which I think is a good sign. I'm tempted to just bounce up and down a bit just to be safe, but I don't want to do the opposite and just loosen it too much. So I'm bouncing up and down and it is creaking slightly. Screw it. Ooh. Let's give it a go. Just going to sit in it first. Okay, so it's not breaking. Let's rank it. So the location is pretty cool. I love the idea of this monkey hanging hammock. We're also really private. We're deep in the woods, in the part of the woods that I think not got access to the public at the moment. So location, I'll give it an 8. The one thing it's missing is it would be nice if it was a little bit higher up off the ground. And I also quite like if there's a view of the sunset. But I love this idea of it monkey hanging from one tree. Comfort, it's probably a bit too much of an angle. I'm also quite worried about this tree snapping, which is taking away from the pleasure of lying in it. We'll give it a 6 for comfort. This spot's a 7 overall, which is good. Now I'm going to get out of this hammock before this tree falls on top of me. Let's go. Something I would love to do is find a spot that's on the edge of a field, and that would give you that sunset location. If I could find a spot that's on one of these outside trees that allows me to sort of look over the field and see the sunset, that's high up off the ground, that would be a 10 for location. And that's the thing we're lacking right now. Also, I'm definitely not meant to be in this part of the woods. Ride closed due to ash dieback. I think that means there's going to be falling trees. Okay, now I can see why they want us to stay out of this part of the woods. I don't know if they've been logged, if they've fallen down, but yeah, that used to be a path. Now, there's no way I'm getting through that. Okay, this could majorly play. So I've got 2 trees here that overlook the field that look like they're pretty good distance apart, and they're definitely high up off the ground. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So we've got this big thick one here, and we've got this one here. One thing that's worrying me is they are quite far apart, and also when I set it up, there's going to be a lot of branches still in the way. Let's try it out. Okay, so what I was thinking of cooking up was this tree here and this big one here. The one problem that sprung to mind already is these 2 branches are quite dead, so they might snap, and the distance between the 2 is pretty big. There's only one way to find out. Now for this one, I was hoping to, you can't see it, but there's a branch coming out of the back of the tree here. I was hoping to maybe loop it around that and use that as an anchor. So I've encountered a problem. This is not long enough to fit around the circumference of that tree. So yeah, luckily I have a solution. I've got extra rope in here and a ratchet. So I'm gonna add some onto this and then hopefully it'll be able to fit. Also, it's a little bit more saggy than I thought, so I might move this higher up to that top one. So I've got a ratchet with me. This basically means I can wrap this around the tree at any length and then attach the hammock to this. Basically works just by cranking this thing. It sucks. I don't know if you can see it, it's getting sucked up. And then that's how you can decide how tight you want it. Right, now that's actually looking really good. Let's get in it. Oh, straight off the bat, this is the comfiest hammock we've had today. It's probably the perfect sagginess. Secondly, we're in a very private part. We're not near a footpath, and look at that view. Unfortunately today it's so cloudy that we're not going to get a sunset, but the sunset usually sets just over that horizon. So 1, good view to watch the sunset. 2, very private. 3, I'm definitely not close to the ground. 4, very comfortable hammock. 5, pretty confident neither of these trees are going to break. So for comfort, it's very good, but not perfect. We're going to give it a 9 for comfort. Location, very good. Private, good view, Could maybe be slightly higher up off the ground. Location, we're also going to give a 9. So overall, the spot, 9 out of 10. Our highest score so far. Now I'm just going to enjoy this for a little while. Hello. When there's a good sunset, we'll definitely come back here. But for now, let's pack this up. All right, let's head off. So unfortunately, that's all we're going to have time for today. We didn't find the perfect hammock, but we're going to keep doing these videos until we get a 10 out of 10 hammock. So stay tuned for episode 3, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.